Hello.
Boy, your voice is dropped. Holy moly. Like I'm talking to a man.
Everyone says that.
To be a DJ, you got kind of a DJ voice.
No.
No?
No.
Not
No DJ.
Oh, you'd be good at it.
No.
Oh. Hi, Haley. How are things? It was so good to see you the other day. You look fabulous, even though you had your McDonald's uniform on. I am. I just remembered I needed to do something super sonically fast. So I'll just give it a couple minutes while everyone gets in here. I'm gonna take myself off camera for a second because I can't do anything while it's on. Hey, everybody joining. I'm just quickly getting my ducks in a row here. So just give me 1 second and then we'll get started. Give me 1 second. I'm still working. Hang tight. Heck. Ooh. Still working. Hold on. I'm trying to find something specific and it's not popping up for me. Where is it? Huh. I think I might have found it. Aha, found it. Okay. Now I'm good. Sorry about that. All right, so those of you that are accommodated with notes, I was just sending you off the notes that I might go over today, just so that you have them. I just wanted to make sure I had them all out there because I meant to do that, and then I completely space cadeted that I was supposed to. So, all right, so I'm just quickly jotting down. Hey, Braden, Brady, Emily, I see you guys. Good to have you guys. Gavin, did you get put back in? Because you weren't on my list for this new one. Do you know anything about that? Jordan. Gavin, are you there? I am on speaker, right? Okay. So I'm not losing my mind. Okay. Okay, so Gavin, you are not on my list for this new semester. Do you know anything about that? Okay. So, as of right now, you're not on my class list, so I don't, it happened with another student where they put her in PE or something. So you may want to look into that because, according to my records, I don't have you, but I don't want to lose you. So, maybe, I don't know who you talk to, if it's Mrs. Avery or, where do you check that? That is a good question.
Ms. Zepka, I think he would just have to contact one of the counselors, whoever his counselor is.
Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Yep.
So, all right, well, cool. Yeah, so I guess, Gavin, you need to do a email to whoever your counselor is and just say Ms. Zepka has a class list and I'm not on it. Okay, so just, okay, perfect. All right, so Ricky, I'm glad to see you again. I'm excited to have you. And so I'm just gonna go over for like 10 minutes. That's all I'm gonna do. I know I hear the eye rolls right now. Haley, are you giving me advice? Oh, you're talking to Gavin that it should have, okay, I gotcha. Okay, so anyway, for 10 minutes, I just want to kind of just go over a couple things with you guys, just to recap. Most of you know this stuff, but just in case you don't, okay? So I do want to take, as long as I don't get wrapped up like last hour, I want to touch base with you guys about your Christmas, but let's do that towards the end. If anybody wants to hold me accountable for that, maybe at I'll set an alarm maybe at 1:25. We could take like the last 5 minutes and see how everybody's break was. I'll try to set something. 2:25. Okay, I got an alarm, so it should be good. All right, so what I wanted to tell you guys was that we're not getting through things very quickly because I only see you twice a week, and I don't want to race through stuff and, have you guys be lost or confused. So we are still in Culinary 1, and we're moving, but just not as fast of clip as I normally would. So we're going to talk about meal planning for this next unit. It'll be kind of short, not super long. And then we'll get into specifically the different food groups, like we'll do fruit, and then grains and veggies and things like that. So that's kind of where we're headed. But off the distance is Culinary 2. So just kind of know that's where we are in this crazy world that we're in. I don't know anything about if we're going to go back or not. I don't think anyone really does until January 18th, which is when the board will decide whether or not we're coming back. And if they do decide that we are, you probably are looking at probably mid-February when that would occur. But again, these are all speculations because I know nothing. Okay, but the decision could be made, and it's not just an automatic because we have to put things in place and educate staff, students, things like that. So probably mid-February if the vote goes through. But again, be looking for that around January 18th to determine what that looks like. I'm sure that you all know about the WIP. Okay, so I just want to share my screen for a minute and take you there. Some of you may have heard of it, but never knew how to access it. So if you ever need it, just email me, hey, Ms. Zepka, could you send me the link for the WIP? If anybody can get to it faster than I can, you can put the link in the chat bar, which would be helpful to maybe some students. But this is how you are going to find everything that you need for your classes. And it also has the weekly plan. So if you want to keep up on what your teacher is going to be scheduling for an assignment 1 week, things like that. It just kind of helps with that. So this is what it looks like. And when I'm on camera, everything, oh, I'm not on camera, good. Okay. Usually slows everything down. All right, so this is all your teachers when they have classes, and then if you click on them, like myself for you guys, culinary, so I click on that, and it just kind of goes over, you know, my email if you ever need it. Usually you just plug in my name and it pops up. But like today, we're going to be talking about identifying quality meal planning elements, incorporating the current dietary guidelines in the MyPlate when planning nutritional balanced meals, plan, prepare, and evaluate and aesthetic pleasing meals by incorporating the anesthetic guidelines, and then incorporating food cost as a part of a meal planning element. So if you look down, it gives you like your daily announcements are here. So like if you want to know what's going on at Parchment, you would just access those. They're uploaded every week. And then it shows, if I can get that off of there, stop it. So, and then it will say that we're doing the warm up today, a pre-test, and then we're going to do our meal planning notes with guided notes. So that'll help you with the test. And then if we don't get through it all, we'll continue with the notes on Wednesday. We'll have some processing questions and an assignment. I'm demonstrating on that day as well. So you'll have a demo page to do, and then that's going to be due here. So you can kind of see that. You can see, you know, there's people already here with me looking at it, which is awesome. But this is where you will find it. You know, and your teachers don't delete these, they just add another week on. So you should probably maybe peruse this every Sunday night. Think about, okay, what do I need to plan for the week? You know, how much time do I have to carve out for certain assignments? You know, this is a way to start planning. And then your Google Meet is here if you ever need it. And then my YouTube channel is here. I upload every video that I take. And I usually date it and kind of put a little synopsis on what the video entails, so that if you're looking for something specific, you can find it. I also put the video in the live stream on Google Classroom. So if you miss a class or you need to look at some notes again, I don't typically give notes out to students unless it's an accommodation. You all are getting old enough. I mean, in college, you're going to have to take notes. Your professor's not necessarily going to give you the notes. So this is a good time to start developing your own note-taking skills. And to use the video or the recording if you need to go back and, you know, look at something more specifically, or you didn't catch this or that. You know, that's kind of what I would like you to use the recordings for. And if you miss a class, you should attend class that way. Okay, so just FYI. All right, I'm going to pull us out of this, and then we're going to go into the warm-ups. So just like before, they're going to be on your Google Classroom. The dates are January 4th through the 15th. You guys need to open a Google Doc and start keeping track of the warm-ups, and the dates are helpful. If you open it, it gives you the criteria. So you get 2 points a day. We meet twice a week, so it's 4 points a week. I grade them bi-weekly, so it's an 8-point total. 0 points for any missing steps. So if you don't have a complete sentence, that the question isn't in the answer, that you don't have caps and ends, then you get a 0, okay? This is the one assignment also that I give you an opportunity to correct and then get it turned back in for more points. Okay, so if it's just a period you need to add it, turn it back in, let me know, and I'll up your point value. You only do your class warm-up. So if you are a P, that's for parenting. If you're C, that's culinary, and N for nutrition. So those are the headers you need to look for. So if you're in culinary, you wouldn't have to do the question for parenting or nutrition. I think I had a couple students for their 2 9 weeks that kept doing all the questions. I'm like, you're really doing more than you really need to. They are required, so if you miss, you need to make them up. It's not something that we just are like, oh, you're gone, okay, well, you get the free pass that you don't have to do it. No, we're all required to do warm-ups, and you need to do them even if you're not present. You got to make a good educational guess. Do not Google them. It does not, I don't have enough time for you to Google. I just want you to tell me what you know, your best guess. IDK is not accepted. You don't have to be correct. You just have to make sure they're kept in end. The question is in there somewhere, and that you answer it to the best of your ability. I do not deduct late points. So if you turn them in late, you will still get the same points earned that anybody would that turned them in on time. I would prefer you not to wait for the end of the 9 weeks to give me 9 weeks worth of warm-ups. I wouldn't do that to you, and I would expect you not to do that to me. So try to do them, you know, as you get them. Most of you have had me before, and you know that most of the things that I ask you to turn in, we do right in class. So if you come to class, you do the work, it should be easy to stay on task and to get your work in on time. There should be no reason why you shouldn't. Okay, the assignments are not, you know, it's not like it's a chemistry class or it's a biology or a pre-calc algebra, you know, it's not as complex as that. There are certain aspects that could be somewhat complex, but most of it is not. And all it requires is effort on your part. So as long as you're willing to put in that, you should be fine. You should be set. If you're not willing to put in the effort, then the grade is going to show what you earned. And, you know, that's kind of what it boils down to. I'm just going to kind of continue on, and then I'll do the warm-up. Remember, tests and pre-tests, you need to be on camera, so I hope all of you are ready to show me your pearly whites today, because we will have a pre-test. My husband was appalled that I was giving you a pre-test today, but, you know, we're starting a new unit, and I have to know what you know and what you don't know. And then you can go off camera after you're done with the pre-test, and we'll start in on the notes. Remember, I try to organize my Google Classroom by week. So if we're in week 1, then that's where you should look for your assignments. Anything in the past, anything that has a lock on it or a stop sign means that you are not allowed to enter that domain. Okay, so like I usually give you up until the test to get all your work in. And after the unit, it's worth 0. Okay, so anything that's turned in on time gets full credit. Anything that's late gets 80%. And then after the unit is 0. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Remember too, the 80% is on what you did and got the points on. Okay, so if there was a 20-point assignment, you only did 10 things and your point were, the points you got were 10, I take 80% of that 10, which would be 8. So you really got 8 out of 20. Okay, so just know, you know, sometimes you need to just turn in what you have, because that's going to be more points than if you turn it in late, it's going to be less points. So you got to kind of wage what would be the best option for you. So just kind of FYI, and then just kind of recapping again about my office hours. I am there for you. So you can come and just talk with me if you have a question about class. It's Tuesdays and Fridays from 11 to 12, and then Thursdays from 2 to 3. Okay. And that is also on my WIP, and the link is also on the WIP as well to get to those office hours. You just have to click on the time, and it'll take you right there. I'm always available via email. So just know, I mean, I try to get back with you as soon as I can, but it doesn't always happen that way. So just be mindful of that. But I want you guys to always know where you stand in the class. So I'd like to grade things pretty quickly so that you never are at the point where you're like, well, I don't know what I'm getting in culinary because Mrs. Zupke hasn't graded papers for 2 weeks. Or, you know, I don't want you to be in limbo like that. I want you to know, you know, at least every week kind of where you stand in the class. And, you know, that's my goal. I don't always hit it, but I do my best. All right, so let's start with this warm-up. So the warm-ups you'll find here. And your warm-up question today is, what are some things to consider when planning a meal? So just think about, you know, if you've never planned a meal, maybe what a parent or somebody, a grandparent, what do you think goes into planning a meal. You know, what are some things that need to be considered when that happens, okay? So remember, you're going to get 2 minutes. You need to open a Google Doc, and we're going to start that now. So here we go in 3, 2, 1, start. You have 2 minutes to do the warm-up. Time starts. All right. Echoing. Sorry about that. Okay. I was
Ms.
trying
Zepka
something.
is echoing.
I know. I was trying something, but I'm gonna have to figure that out. I was trying to use 2 screens, but as you can see, that was a bust. All right. So hopefully you got your warm up done. That's the hope. And that's one less thing you have to do. And now I'm gonna open the pre-test. And let me check all the settings because I thought I had everything set up the last time for my last hour and then it went awry. So hang tight. I have it up and everything is ready to go. I just need to check that I have the lock screen off because it was on last hour and I swear I turned it off. Of course, that's what you always think. And then, yeah, yours is turned off. Okay. So I think you guys, let me get back here. Okay, I'm going to open it now. All right, so I do need you on camera. Maybe I should close it until you are. I'm going to go back and close it. Sorry. All right, I need you on camera. Oh, look at that cuteness. All right, so let's have you be on camera, and then I will open it once everybody's there. If you could do that for me. Oh my God, Sapphire, you are such a crack up. There, it's so good to see everybody. Gosh, I can't wait to see you guys in person. I saw one person in person over the holiday. It's so nice. All right, Kaden, Ricky, Jenna, Brian, Braden, I need to see you. There you are. Hi, Sapphire. Oh, you guys. Is Ricky in there? Oh, there he is. Look at him. He's like a little Eskimo. Yes. All right, Kaden, Braden, Brian. Let's go. Haley, is that a niece? Not, what is that? Niece? Oh, okay. So cute. He looks like you. So cute. All right. Well, Kaden, I am gonna kick you out. There you. Why do you always do that? Every time I'm about ready to kick you out, you just automatically show up. Yes, I knew that, Sapphire. Oh my God, you're cracking me up. All right, Brian, are you gonna show yourself? You have until the count of three. I sound like a mom, don't I? 1, 2, 2.5, 2 3/4. All right. Hasta la bye bye. That's kind of what I'm gonna have to say. Let's see if am I allowed to? Miss Gray might have control. Oh, okay. All right. There we go. I think we're all good now. All right. Now I'm gonna open that test up. And remember, it's just a pretest, so don't panic. It's not life or death at this point. All right, so you guys should be good. Haley, give me a thumbs up, would you? And open it. And that it's in Google Classroom. And it'll say meal planning pretest. Okay, cool. All right. So I'll give you about 10 or 15 minutes to do that. And then in Google Classroom, I opened up a note page that we're going to work on. So have that ready to go when you guys get done with the pretest. Thank you. Brian, if you're going to be here, I need you on camera because we're doing the pretest on Google Classroom.
Oh yeah, 1 second.
All right, thank you. Okay, Kaden, just go to Google Classroom and pull up that meal plan note page, guided notes. Okay, try to finish up here in the next couple minutes. A lot of people ready to go. Okay, so we're gonna start taking some notes here, but I wanted to ask you about that question for your warm-up. What are some things to consider when planning a meal? So you can either put the things to consider in the chat, or you can unmic and tell me what you put down as your warm-up answer. So the question was, what are some things to consider when planning a meal? So what do you think? What are things you consider when you're planning? You can put it in the chat or you can unmic. Don't everyone jump at once now. Well, one thing I comes into consideration is time. You know, sometimes I have not much time to get my kids to practice and to feed them, or I do have a lot of time, so then I might take, you know, more complicated meal or something like that. Haley says, see what everyone wants and agrees on it. Yeah, that's always a slippery slope, isn't it, Haley? You have somebody that wants that you're making, and then someone's like, ew, I don't want that. Yeah, a kitchen that's clean, good, Ricky, yes. You know, sometimes when, you know, the kitchen's a mess, you're less apt to want to cook in it, right? Because then you have to clean it up, and by the time you got it all cleaned up, you're like, now who wants to cook? Not me. Oh, making a menu, okay. Personal preference, yeah. What you like, what are the things that you enjoy eating versus what other people may like? Oh, good. That's another one, Sapphire. How many people are in the family? Yeah, do you have enough silverware, plates? Are you gonna have enough food? You know, sometimes you might have a friend that comes over, or two friends, and your mom or your dad's like, wait a minute, you know, we only have 5 hot dogs, and that's not enough to feed everybody else. So either you have to come up with some extra sides, or, you know, defrost a chicken breast or 2 or something like that. It was an example, Missy. It wasn't meant as being something that you particularly eat. So yeah, so all those things we're going to kind of talk about and weigh in on, and hopefully you'll come through this with some better understanding about what goes into planning a meal. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. I hope you guys all found the note page in your Google Classroom. Ricky, are you able to access that? I wasn't sure if you needed a code or not. Could you let me know in the chat whether you need a code? Ricky, are you there? Oh, okay. How do you know that, Haley? All right, so Miss Gray, okay. All right, so do you,
Yes, I'm here.
okay, sorry, I'm in like 2 different modes in my brain. Ricky, do you you need the whatever you call it.
I gave him the code already to
Oh, you
get in.
did? Oh,
Yeah.
sweet boy. All right. I love
So
having a
hopefully
secretary.
hopefully he got in. I
Yeah,
think
it
he
says
said
he did.
he did.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Just want to make sure everyone is all set. All right. So Miss Gray is going to monitor the chat. So if there's something in there, she'll let me know. If you have a question, remember there's the hand up button. It kind of goes bloop, and it indicates to me that somebody's hand's up, and then I can call on you if you prefer it that way. But not everyone rushes to the mic all at once, so you should be okay to unmic and just communicate if you're comfortable with that. Otherwise, you can raise your hand and or go into the chat. Miss Gray can kind of monitor that for me. All right. So if you have the accommodation of notes, I've sent those to you. Remember, if you don't, then you can always go back into the recording and you know, use the notes there. Okay, so there's always, you know, that possibility is available to you. Okay, so the first couple slides are going to go over some pictures. And I thought they were pictures. My mistake. They are foods, and I want you to tell me what you think might be missing or what you think of the meal that got put together, okay? All right, so let's say for breakfast you had milk, cornflakes with a slice of banana and toast. What do you think might be an element in this meal that may not be the best? Like, what do you think about this meal? There's no right or wrong answer, so don't think, oh my God, if I answer, it's going to be wrong. Right now, I haven't taught you anything. I'm just trying to pick your brain. What do you think about that meal? What do you think's wrong with it? Is it okay? What do you think about it? Would that be appealing to you? And why is it not?
Nope.
Go ahead.
It doesn't sound good at all. Because bananas with toast and cornflakes,
Okay.
that just don't sound good to me.
Okay. So you're basing it on your personal taste. Okay. So can somebody base it on something else besides that?
There's too much dairy in it.
Okay. There's only milk.
Yeah, but like still that's just like because like milk and then there's cornflake, like milk in the cornflakes.
I
But
think
then
that's what it means is that you're gonna put that milk on your cornflakes.
but the toast also throws it off. It just doesn't sound good.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at meals not necessarily based on personal preference. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you right now that this breakfast is not gonna be appealing to some people because it's all the same color. Milk is white. Cornflakes are kind of a tannish. Bananas are kind of white. Toast is kind of tannish. So there's really nothing that's, drawing me or interesting to me in this breakfast. So it's very bland, plain. It also barely meets the requirements of the My Plate. So you got your dairy and your grains and your fruit. That's it. Okay. So we needed a protein in there. Maybe a vegetable. Because vegetables are always brilliantly colorful. Okay, here's another one. Try not to base it on personal opinion. Personal preference is what I want to say. You need to base it on some other things. So look at this one. What do you think about this one? There's something lacking in this one. Like if we were looking at the My Plate, what would be lacking?
Dairy?
Yeah. So this one's a really good meal. You got your protein, your greens, your fruit. You got the tomato and the chili, but what would make it more well-rounded would be if, you could have a glass of milk on the side or something like that. So this one is missing the dairy group. And then what about this one? You got hamburger, french fries, and vanilla shake. So besides personal preference about whether you like it or not, what are some of your takeaways besides that? And, be thinking about also like maybe the dietary guidelines, the My Plate, things like that to weigh in on. Aesthetics, which are like how it looks, tastes, that kind of thing. Anybody want to weigh in on it? Okay, so it's really high in fat. You got french fries, your hamburger, your vanilla shake, and there's no fruit. Okay, so I would call this meal, and we'll talk about this, really heavy. It's a very heavy meal. All right, so now we're going to talk about the meal planning elements. And if you're on your notes, the first blank is dietary guidelines. So you need to put that on your next line, okay? Or on line number 1. Is this making sense? Kaden, does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure that you guys are seeing what I'm seeing and what I'm telling you. Okay, so I wanted to show you, and I think you should write them down. Hold what do I want to say? The dietary guidelines, I want you to have those, and I'm going to show you a place where I've put them for you. So let me, hold on a second. Okay, so under these notes right here, hopefully you can see this. I put the dietary guidelines in there for you because you need them. And not that you, need to put them in your notes, but this is where you would find them. So these are some things we need to think about when we are making meals, is following a healthy diet pattern at every life stage. Okay, so I'm a human. I don't know if any of you knew that. I'm not a robot that comes out of the closet and teaches every day. But I go through highs and lows, Even though I teach nutrition, I know how to eat properly. Sometimes I fall off the bandwagon and I have some bad habits. But it doesn't mean that throughout the years I picked myself up and got on a better pattern of life. There always are going to be ups and downs in your life. You're going to have times when you don't eat that great, times when you do eat really well, times when you're focused on, exercising, eating right, dealing with your other areas of health, your, social health, your emotional health. It's all kind of a winding highway, if you will. And you're always going to be going on that highway or that roller coaster ride. We're all on it. And like right now, because of the new year, I'm starting to get back on track where I'm making better eating choices. But it's hard, through the Christmas holiday and then Thanksgiving just being, there's Thanksgiving 3 weeks later, you got Christmas, and there's all those customs and cultural things that we do. And, it's like the sugar mecca of the world during those times. And so, but, always being able to bring yourself back and, figuring out what's important and, how to keep yourself healthy. Those are really important. So try, you keep trying to get back on that horse, if you will, every time. And, it's just how life is. I'm sorry to tell you, burst your bubble, but it happens to all of us. Customize and enjoy nutrient-dense foods. Remember, nutrient-dense means that they have low calories and high nutritional value. Okay, so if you're looking at chips versus a baked potato, that's how they're made, just in case you didn't know. Nutrient dense would be the baked potato and not the chips, or French fries versus a baked potato. A baked potato is nutrient dense because it has high nutritional value and low calories, where the French fries don't have any nutritional value and have lots of calories. So hopefully I made that distinction for you. And beverages choices to reflect your personal preferences, cultural traditions, and budgetary considerations. So some things to think about. Focus on meeting food group needs with nutrient-dense foods and beverages and stay within calorie limits. And then limit food and beverage higher in added sugars, saturated fat, and sodium, and limited alcoholic beverages. Now, I know last year was a long time ago, and we did do the nutritional guidelines, but they change every 5 years. So these have, in 2020, they changed, and they're going to be with us until 2025. And there used to be 5 of them, but there's now 4. Okay. So I know that was one of your test questions, is how many are there? There are 4. Okay. They all do mimic a lot of the old ones, but they've kind of, what do I want to say? They've condensed them down a little bit and made them a little less wordy, if you will. That's what I guess I'm going to tell you. But this is where you would find the dietary guidelines on your Google page. You don't necessarily need to write them on your notes. But, if you're taking the test and I ask you a question about the dietary guidelines, this is where you need to go to be able to answer that question from the test. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. All right, back to the slideshow. All right. So the next couple of slides are the old dietary guidelines, so I'm just kind of skipping through those. Okay, so the My Plate. Now, what's important for me and for you to get, and we did this last year just a tiny, tiny bit. We're going to do a little bit more with it when we talk about meal planning, but you need to understand how many of those groups you need. So blank number 2 on your notes should read My Plate recommendations, okay? And these are your notes, so you can write on them what you will. I mean, obviously in the blanks, you know what are supposed to be there, but maybe you could maybe put a little parentheses or something and then write the correct amount. So do you guys remember how much fruit you need a day? Crickets, hello, are you alive?
Is it
No.
Well, then I suggest you get a blood supply and start being alive with us. All right.
Nah.
Was it Brady? Were you going to tell me?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me.
Is it 2 cups?
It is 2 cups. And then what about vegetables? How many of those you need a day? Oh no, jump at once now. Let everybody have a turn.
Miss Zepka, there's a couple of students that commented that they're confused on what they're supposed to be writing down.
All right. Let me go assist you. All right. So hopefully you are in your notes, right? You're here with me. I'm going to open this up so you're with me. Okay. And line number 1 should be dietary guidelines right here. Okay. And so that's one part of your meal planning elements is to know your dietary guidelines and a plan accordingly when you make a meal. I didn't have room to write them, so I put them in Google Classroom in that little section I was showing you, just if you need them to access them for any reason. Blank number 2 is the My Plate recommendations, okay? That's another part of the meal planning element. Knowing how many fruits you need a day, vegetables, grains, because at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you have all of those elements in the meals that you're preparing. Okay. Now I'll take a question if you have one. If you're all cleared up and with me, if you could maybe, if you had something in the chat, put a 1 so Miss Gray knows that you now understand.
Haley said, okay, thanks.
Okay. So I'm making myself a little more clearer now, which is perfectly fine. Okay, I'm going to stay on this page for a second. We're not filling anything else out yet. I just wanted to go through the amounts that you guys need in the My Plate. Oops. Because that's part of the test, and I want you to be able to know those. So I said in the number 2 where you're going to put My Plate recommendations, maybe put parentheses, and then write down the food groups and how much you need a day. So Brady told me for fruits you need 2 cups. I can't remember who told me about vegetables. It was 2.5 cups. And then for dairy, how many cups of that do you need a day?
3
3
cups.
cups?
3 cups, yep. And then what about grains?
6 ounces.
Yes, 6 ounces. And then what about protein? Dun, dun, dun.
5.5 question mark?
Oh, good girl. All right. So on the test, you will need to know those, as you well know, because you just saw the test. So I would have those written down. Like if you know them, obviously you would need to write them down. But you know, if you don't, if you're not sure, like the ones that kind of mess people up sometimes are the grains and protein because they're by ounces, and the numbers are really closely related. So sometimes people kind of goof them up because you know they just mix them up. So just look at the G. The G looks kind of like a 6. So just remember grains are 6 ounces and proteins are 5.5 or 5.5. And then vegetables, you know, half of your plate needs to be vegetables and fruit. So I just remember that 2.5 for vegetables because it should be higher than the fruit. Okay. I don't know if that helps you, but hopefully it does. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So I'm going to stop here. I didn't get too far today, did I? But I did a lot of blabbing. So you should only have in your notes numbers 1 and 2 filled out. So if you've done that, you're right where you should be. I wanted to just kind of touch base with everyone so that we're not rushed all the time. and we don't take time for each other to connect and to talk to one another. I'm your teacher, but I'm also a person that cares about you guys, and I would love to hear what you did over break, or if you went out of state, or if you got something from Santa Claus. What's going on? Tell me about it. What can you tell me? Who went out of Michigan for Christmas? Did you go out of the state? So everyone was homebound. How many of you put a 1 in the chat if you only were with your immediate family? Like you were just with, your immediate family. I just wanted to know like how many people followed the COVID expectations. Okay. All right. So it was a little uneventful. Same with this household. My kids hated Christmas because, we always get together with family and do things. And they were very much unsatisfied with the holiday and how it panned out. Of course, Santa was good to them, of course, but they really missed doing things with family. So tell me one thing that you got for Christmas that you wanted or were excited about. You can put it in the chat or you can unmic, whatever you're comfortable with. What's that one thing? My son got the AirPods. Well, no, we didn't get him the AirPods, but we purchased a phone. He had to pay half of it, but we paid for the other half. And then, let's see. VR headset. Ooh, cool. Brady got money. Let's see. What did Carly want? I'm trying to think. Geez, I can't even think. Oh, she wanted clothes. Typical 17-year-old. And then, yes, see, Sapphire. Yep. Oh, good, Haley. Really all you need is your family. So if you had all that, you're good to go. Oh, Caden likes Big B. What's your drink of choice, Caden?
Iced mint mocha.
Ooh, mint mocha. That sounds delicious. I love Big B, but I don't like espresso, so I would not like that. The teddy bear, yeah, all of that stuff's espresso. I don't like espresso. It's too strong. Oh, okay, the cream freezes. Okay, I have to admit those are good. I will say that. Let's see. I was going to tell you what Kate wanted. What did Kate get? Oh my gosh. See, this is what old age does to you. You can't remember a darn thing. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to think what she got. Oh, dishes. She got like pots and pans, not because I'm a culinary teacher, just because she's moving into an apartment. So that's what my kiddos got. What did I get for Christmas? Let me see. I know all you are dying to know. I think I got some perfume. I think that was probably the best gift. I got, a new vacuum. That was good too. Not really exciting, but it is exciting that I get to now vacuum my carpets. That's always good. All right. Well, it was great seeing you guys. I'm so glad that you showed up today. Ricky, I'm so glad that you're with us. And I will see all of you on Wednesday. So take care of yourselves.
See ya.
Bye,
Have a good night,
Kaden.
everyone.
Thanks, Haley.
Miss Zepka.
What do you want?
Ugh. I won't be here on Wednesday.
Oh, tisk tisk.
Yeah, because I have like a family emergency that day, so I won't be here.
Then watch the video.
Yeah, I definitely will do that.
Okay, you should be set as long as you watch the video.
I will watch it.
Yes, you will.
I will be working on my grades to be better this semester. Yes, I'm already I have a goal setting app already. I have all things written down, and I'm gonna do
Well,
better.
I'm here. Just reach out and I will help you.
Yeah, I know. I was just in a rough time last semester, but I'm doing better now.
Well, that's good to hear. Hopefully I'll get to see you soon.
Yes, hopefully.
Okay.
I want to be back in school.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I hope you have a great day.
I hope you do too, and take
Thank
care,
you.
and I'll see you next Monday.
Yep, I'll see you then.
All right. Take care, sweetie.
You too.
Bye.